I say welcome to the Scratching Post. We scratch that gaming itch. You're through to the Scratching Post, and it's Saturday. There can only be one thing, and that's time for Silly Voices Saturday! Hello, if anyone who's not familiar with the format of the show, every Saturday I get my friends together and we put our voice acting talents to a variety of games, which right now we're doing the Ace 10 Investigations 2. So, of course, I want to say hello and welcome to the cast. We have Burr.
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, we have Drifting.
This is the only thing stopping me from posting just 4 chapters of my fanfic in a row.
We have our American correspondent, Kay.
I'm so glad to be here. I'm glad to be back. I missed y'all last time.
We missed you as well.
Oh, we missed you.
We also have our woman in Japan, Laura Petal.
Eustace, for the last time, how many times do I have to tell you this? They don't all go in the square hole.
Damn.
It goes in this
Perfect.
Our very
Eustace is the person who would put everything in the square hole.
true.
Yeah.
Our very own police detective, Lemon Russ.
I never left.
And my good friend of yours, Mistropolis.
We wanted a 23 Pidgeotto, but we already got a level 22 over here.
Shove them rare candy and they don't know the difference.
Oh dear.
That's in relation to an image I just posted in the...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And ever since Drifting hit me with that outro last week, I'm like, right, I'm continuing the fad this week.
Mayonnaise
Everything's the square hole.
No,
All
Eustace,
these squares make a
mayonnaise
circle.
is not an instrument.
All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
Horseradish isn't an instrument either.
I'm just booing up.
Fleming?
It's also
I need you to
you just can't stop laughing. That's just really makes it funny to me.
Fleming, I need you to tell me that I could leave this chat at any time.
Mysteriopolis, you can leave this chat whenever you want.
Tell me what to do!
Oh, we
Okay.
we have BSD in the chat. I'm glad I was able to fill in last week, but I'm really glad to see the whole gang come back together. Yay!
Thanks for filling
Yeah.
in.
Thank you, Phil.
I hope you're gonna be entertained today, because we're gonna do our best anyway.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not
Not yet,
entertained?
they're
Also,
not.
also, did you hear that Paddington won against Gladiator?
Yeah.
Paddington 3, Gladiator 2.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but Paddington's the third Paddington's actually really good film. Genuinely good.
Paddington sweep. Wow.
That bear, man. That bear.
I'm just having to restart the game because for some reason it's like, yo, I don't want to start. Which I'm like, that's useful. Very useful in this investigations
Game,
collection.
why?
GG, yeah.
GG.
The game has stage fright.
Although when it crashed, it did come up with the name of the game in Japanese, which is like, okay, that's weird. It is now decided that it wants to grace us with its presence.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
We're-
how you
we're-
say it.
So what you're saying is the game went crash.
mhm.
What is
If
this Gyakuten Kenji you speak of?
if it didn't start, we would play Indiana Jones. We would all cheer loudly whenever you punch the fascist.
Oh yeah, and of course, you know, I've also got the sound effects ready for that. You know, yeah, because I have to.
Wow.
Amazing.
Or
Can
of course,
we try to put it somewhere in the Ace Attorney?
no. I'm gonna call a Sir Order. On this one.
Somebody's having fun.
Yes.
With the
I
soundboard.
finally have a soundboard. I can do things too now.
Yay!
That wasn't me.
Soon, TM, soon.
It wasn't me.
All right, let's get on with the show. So last time we met a couple of characters. We also introduced Mr. Sawhit again last time.
Yes.
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 And we've gone back and we've met Judge Gavel, who is threatening that if we lose this next rebuttal or argument, that I'll have to hand over my prosecutor's badge.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
No.
So, let us get on with it. Laura, if you please.
So, last time on Ace Attorney Investigations 2, I did exactly just that. Now, by the power vested in me by the almighty goddess of justice, let this judgment commence. Now you will go on my first whistle. Eustace, if you will allow me.
Eustace, you go on my first whistle.
Fine by me. He's all yours, Gavel.
How Knight wound up in the prison proper.
You are aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight the day before yesterday, I assume? He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys.
Well, pants, I do have to catch up.
Later, in the middle of moving a large animal cage, Mr. Saint stopped by Mr. Knight's cell for a little visit.
Hey, only I'm allowed to put inverted commas wherever I want.
That's when Mr. Knight stole out of his cell using the keys he'd stolen. He slipped into the cage, and there he hid, as he was wheeled into one of the prison workshops.
It figures she was going to bring up Mr. Saint going to Knight's cell.
Reminder on the echo if that's the thing you're doing.
Oh. Did
Yeah,
I
you
not?
missed your echo.
Hang on.
You didn't
Is it,
have
is,
the
it,
echo.
Up for us.
is it echoing now?
No.
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 Ooh.
It might be a thing of like depending on if we don't hear it, but the audience does.
No, I just checked the audio. It's not on stream either.
Huh.
Good
Ah.
prompt.
How about
Yeah,
now?
There it is.
There we go.
It's
There we
working now.
go.
That was.
There it is. Edward found his cave.
If you'd like to redo your line, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, of course. Give me a second.
The echo
Edward found his
returns.
void.
Edgeworth remembered how to think in silence.
He found his void again. I like that.
Mr. Edgeworth
not-
is speaking
that's-
outside your.
The joke about the void. Sorry, I need to clarify what that's about. That's a reference to when I streamed this game back in the day because there was a joke that every time it like cut to black or like when it was Edgeworth but with a black background behind him or like when you were in the chess dimension that was known as Edgeworth's chess void because it just was such a weird recurring thing. We always made jokes about it being the void. Like that he just goes to the void sometimes. And he's got his
Behold
chess
my-
void. That's where he fights people with chess.
Yeah.
Edgeworth
Behold my
is-
mind palace and see that it's completely empty.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Edgeworth is a child. Like, Edgeworth, where are you going? To the void, mother.
Is that working now?
Yes.
It was for a second, and then it
It was
wasn't.
for a second. I'm not sure.
It did.
Okay, testing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second three tests were with the
Yeah, because I'm using a new method of doing it on my keyboard, so I just want to check that it's working.
Ah, yes.
So I'll repeat my line in echo. It figures he was going to bring up Mr. Saint going to Knight's cell.
I'm going to say this before we continue. Yours truly is in the latter stages of cold, so if the voice is weak, you understand why. So
It's okay.
Bless
Mhm.
you.
I will
Yeah.
persevere, but if it needs to be hard enough, I'll let you know if it needs to be.
Yeah, get well, Gavel.
Yeah. we hope you feel better soon.
Yesterday, after you so kindly made us aware of the security camera footage, we decided to take a look at it ourselves. Perhaps you would like to see what we found. This is a still from the footage we received.
Mr. Saint speaking with Knight in its cell.
Correct. You will also note that he has positioned the cage in such a way as to obscure the camera's view. It is this blind spot that Mr. Knight exploited in order to enter the cage undetected. A sound deduction based on what can be observed, wouldn't you say?
A blind spot, which means that the camera wouldn't have been able to capture the moment Knight entered the cage, if he did at all. So it's still possible that he didn't actually leave his cell at this point.
I don't get it. Why would Mr. Knight want to hide in the cage?
Shush, shush. There is really only one possibility. He intended to escape.
Prison Break. That's so cool.
Okay, no.
Mr. Carcerado, Mr. Knight, everybody's doing it. I have to step up my game.
At least if he wanted to tattoo the plans of the prison on his back, it would have been a very small tattoo.
Okay, now is really not the time. Mr. Carcerato's escape is no laughing matter.
It is my belief that Mr. Saint helped. Pardon me. It is my belief that Mr. Saint helped Mr. Knight with his escape attempt. That is to say, he was his accomplice.
Wow, go Simeon.
That wasn't a compliment!
He was his accompaniment.
Whatever happened to BK do crime, Mr. Edgeworth?
I understand that the cage was briefly taken into one of the workshops. I imagine that had things gone to plan, Mr. Knight would have remained in the cage until after the show, and then removed from the premises along with the rest of the circus's equipment. Unfortunately for Mr. Knight, Mr. Saint had other ideas. He killed his friend in cold blood.
Judge Gavel's argument seems reasonable, but there must be a fault in her logic somewhere, and I'm going to find it. I'll show you the badge.
Did the dog not attack him in the cell after Simeon visited him? Do we not have timestamps on the camera footages?
Good point. We can't seem to see it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
So if you're not allowed to see it, it may not be the answer.
You wish, yeah, if it's not, if you can't see it, then it's not relevant. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's just press a little bit. Hold it! Do you have any proof that Knight stole the keys?
I can think of no other reason for him to carry out such a brutal attack. Once the guard he assaulted regains consciousness, I am sure he will confirm our suspicions.
I wouldn't be so sure. Perhaps I should press her further on her reasoning.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I believe there's a flaw in your reasoning. If Knight had the keys, there was nothing to stop him from leaving whenever he wanted. Why wait for Mr. Saint? There was no need, surely.
He chose the option he deemed most likely to succeed. He stole the keys and hid them somewhere. Then waited for an opportune moment to present itself.
He hid the keys? I'm afraid you might have made an uncharacteristic oversight, Your Honor. But Knight wasn't hiding any keys. That has been proven already. And this piece of evidence that proves Knight didn't have the keys. Since you know about the incident, I assume you must already know this, but after the assault, the guards searched both Knight and his cell, and no keys were found. And if the whereabouts of the keys can't be proven, then neither can your theory.
I have considered the matter of the missing keys, and I do not think it's such an issue. I still believe he had them. After all, the guards only stated that they were unable to locate them. And this is because they were cleverly hidden inside the pocket's chest set.
Knight's chest set, the same set in which the murder weapon was also allegedly hidden?
Oh, was it? I can't help but wonder about that.
That chest set is doing very heavy lifting.
The chess set seems to be holding a lot of evidence.
It's larger on the inside.
Yes, it would be holding a lot of weight. There are a lot of fucking things inside it, apparently.
Yeah.
I bet the dog was smuggled in the chest set too.
Yeah. And perhaps a third person helped. That is the energy we're kind of channeling here. Perhaps her secret fifth person helped. Anyway,
What? But you're the person who proposed it.
Actually, if you recall, that was Eustace's assertion.
Way to throw your
Whoa,
protege
throwing him
under the bus.
Wait a minute!
yeah.
So the two of them aren't of one mind on this, I take it.
Allow me to restate the facts. Mr. Knight hid the keys he stole from the guard inside his chest set. When Mr. Saint came to see him, Mr. Knight used the keys to open his cell and climbed inside the cage. He was then moved from his holding cell to that workshop in the prison proper. All with the help of his friend and accomplice. Had things gone according to plan, he would have been taken out of the facility after the show. But they did not. Instead, his accomplice murdered him while the show was taking place in the yard.
Objection! But Mr. Saint was part of that performance. How would he even have time to commit the murder?
Overruled. How indeed? Allow me to explain.
What do you mean, how indeed? This is not Outer Wilds.
How indeed?
Outer Wilds mentioned.
Swear to God.
And then immediately the girl says Outer Wilds mentioned because I said he said that because she herself is a very big fan of Outer Wilds.
Yay!
Yeah,
One of
Outer
us,
She's
one
one of those
of us.
microphones as
Outer
to
Wilds
avoid
fans
getting
like that.
spoiled. So funniest attorney. So
Moon.
yeah,
Everywhere we rise up.
still heard Outer Wild mentioned. Oh, okay. Sorry. No, sorry for the digression there.
It's fine.
I had to highlight it.
You're good, you're good. As you know, many stage performances follow a set narrative. Yesterday's show was one such example.
She's done her homework, I see.
The suspect played the role of the antagonist opposite the elephantine heroine of the show. I'm now trying to think what the Latin name of that would be, like how cows would be bovine, horses equine. Huh.
Wikipedia it.
Thank you, Eustace.
I have things to do, I guess.
You're helpful.
In the
When
meantime.
Wikipedia decides to stay in Dutch. How dare you?
It's fine. In the latter part of the performance, the heroine's love prevails, and the villain is defeated.
And I have very bad news for you, Laura. Elephant in Latin is elephantus, so it would be elephantine.
Okay, fair dues, fair
Hey.
dues.
Yep.
It's like this is why elephant in so many languages is just elephant.
Not in Japanese, it ain't. It's just Zol in Japanese.
Okay, you read the line, haven't you?
I have indeed, yes.
Good.
This victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage by the heroine. In other words, he does the yeet.
He's sent flying by the elephant.
Yeet does
Isn't
not
that
smell.
dangerous?
Yes.
Isn't that dangerous?
Yes, Burr?
No, I just said it's the attack called Yeetus Maximus.
Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance. In other words, the suspect did not appear on stage for a period of approximately 15 minutes.
And you're saying the crime took place during that time?
Put two and two together for once, Edgeworth. I'm afraid so. After all, it's more than a sufficient window, wouldn't you say?
Not
Objection! Committing the crime and returning to stage in that short 15-minute window is only possible assuming the murder took place in the prison proper. But in fact, Your Honour, the real scene of the crime was Knight's cell.
Ha! I seem to remember telling you that I would not accept that part of the security footage into evidence.
Objection! And you won't have to. I have proof of a different kind.
Of a third kind.
Huh. Very well. Would you be such a good boy as to present it? What proof do you have that the murder took place in the victim's holding cell?
A well-wiped floor. Take that!
This appears to be a photograph of a floor. Almighty goddess of justice, do grant me patience.
That floor, you're so dismissive of, Your Honour, has traces of Knight's blood on it.
That just reminds me of the joke of like, don't you mean rent me strength? No, if I meant rent me strength, you'd be dead.
Traces, you say? Is this evidence reliable? After all, I don't believe you have access to the necessary forensic operatives.
Objection! I have my resources. A certain...
This is the Thor Ragnarok scene. I don't, but he has.
A certain blunt instrument, you might say, but a reliable.
I just say, like, Gavel be like, I have a lawyer, I have a team of lawyers, and Ezra says, we have a dick.
We have a gumshoe even. I know what your
My
joke
dick
is, but
is
still.
big, is big, is very, very big.
That's right. I'm at least 6 foot tall.
At least, yeah.
Oh, wow.
How big are you in bed? Just 6 feet tall? Sideways?
How big are you? 6 feet tall. I mean, how big are you in bed? I mean, I'm 6 feet tall, but lying down.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's precisely the answer, Edgeworth. That's precisely the answer that Gumshoe would give.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
We'll give it 2, depending on how pissed off he was.
I'm actually, detective. You're 6 feet long.
If you say so.
I think Kay is dead. Good job.
If you say so. It just really got to me.
The detective, Dick. How very unfortunate for him. Perhaps before you decided to circumvent the law, you might have considered that the committee's influence extends to the police.
Okay.
Oh no! Naokami's badge is on the line too. Sorry.
He has a
my,
badge? Since when?
he does.
Yeah,
he does canonically have a badge.
Let
And
me
a
may,
service-
let me
service
may I
firearm
have
she showed Pearl.
may I have you say, wait, I have a badge?
Wait, I have a badge?
Don't tell me you've pawned it again, detective.
I had to pay for lunch last week.
Those cup ramen doesn't by itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Forgive me, detective. I didn't mean to put you at risk as well.
I will enter the fact that Mr. Knight's blood was found in a holding cell into evidence. However,
The way he just appears breaks me. What the fuck? Bad luck, idiots. I still haven't figured out how I want to do his laugh. It's fine. You're really on the edge now, Mr. Worthless.
Get his ass!
Mr. Winner, I'd forgotten you were there. It was nice while it lasted.
I hate it a lot, actually.
Oh.
I just butted in to tell you that your entire argument is one big inconsistency. You showed us camera footage of a dog killing Mr. Knight in a cell. Are you saying the mud also wiped the blood up before it left the scene?
Uh-oh.
What are the tricks gonna do, huh? A blood wiping dog. You're a joke.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is me, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought wasn't he getting hot potatoed? Or I don't know what was happening.
I can do it, Kenneth. You'd
Okay.
have wiped that blood up, wouldn't you, boy? Yes, Helmut, yes, you would.
Who's a good boy?
What?
That was one of the tricks I taught him before. Our work together was so rudely cut short.
Bro, what the fuck?
He's a very tidy boy, you know. Never misses a drop.
unrelated fact, he's very high in iron. He's never been iron deficient in his life.
Come now, why do you think he can maintain such a lusciously black coat? It wouldn't do to leave any evidence, after all.
What the fuck?
Saved by an assassin, of all people.
Oh my god.
Jeez Louise! You're gonna stop the little guy to shake hands!
Little.
Oh, he does that marvelously, too. Although the way I taught him to do it is somewhat unorthodox.
Just afterwards, he puts you into a chokehold.
First,
Honestly, I can imagine that.
first he bites down hard on the victim's hand, then
I'm not sitting. I love this fucking game.
I see. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems you may have gathered some evidence worth considering.
your understanding is much appreciated.
Objection! But I'm not done yet. I just thought of something else.
Me too.
You really two
Useless.
thoughts in one
Yeah.
day?
Well, I have to find myself next time. I need to bring. I should bring along my Nintendo Switch next time. That might shut you up just a bit longer than normal. Overruled.
Oh boy! Somebody's taking no prisoners. Literally.
Eustace, would you be so kind as to allow me? I will give you my mobile phone so you can watch some YouTube in the meantime.
All yours, Gavel. Do you have games on your phone?
Would you believe you can help me out? You could help me out in my Candy Crush run. Yes.
Nice.
Well, do you accept the truth now? The crime took place in Knight's holding cell. And the assassin's dog was the killer.
Overruled. My position is the same as it was yesterday. Until you can explain how the dog moved between the prison and the detention center, I cannot accept your theory into evidence.
Hold it!
Secret tunnel!
I thought you might say that,
Secret tunnel!
which is why I'd like to show you something else. This piece of evidence shows how the dog could freely travel between the prison and the detention center.
To be honest, I felt the
Secret
premonitions.
tunnel!
I felt the premonitions coming as soon as I said that sentence.
Take that.
Oh, this is.
It's a secret passageway. It runs beneath the prison.
What? Secret passageway?
Oh my god, this game's missing a beat, not calling it a secret tunnel.
Secret
Yeah.
tunnel.
It was
Secret tunnel.
It was dug by one Mr. Rocco Casaretto, escapee. It leads from his prison cell to a certain holding cell in the detention center. Yes, the very one where the victim was being held.
Ah, well, this is certainly a surprise. To think that it was beneath our feet this entire time.
Mr. Canis, you knew of this tunnel, didn't you? Because it's the same tunnel that was used to carry out the murder.
Overruled. In the name of the goddess of justice. Overruled, Mr. Edgeworth. You are out of line.
Hold it! How so, Your Honor?
Overruled. Evidence is everything, whether in a court of law or at the scene of an investigation. Isn't that your little catchphrase? Well, it just so happens that I have some evidence of my own. Bronco Knight's autopsy report, freshly updated.
So this is what it feels like. His autopsy report.
When the fuck did we get that? Hello?
How do you not know that you had it?
I don't know!
I was just playing Candy Crush.
Your Honor, I have the attention span of a flea.
Your Honor, I don't know. Nobody tells me anything.
Hello, Sunbeam. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Sunbeam.
The police handed it to me only a short while ago. The findings are so preliminary, but it has something of value to tell us nonetheless. The goddess of justice speaks to us through these pages, Mr. Edgeworth. Cause of death: stab wound to the throat, and the weapon is said to be a sharp blade of some sort. It seems the victim was stabbed repeatedly in the same spot, resulting in an ugly wound. As such, the police have yet to identify the exact shape of the weapon. But its overall nature seems to be beyond question. It is a bladed metal instrument. In light of this evidence, do you truly wish to continue with your flights of fancy? Or will you now claim that the dog used a knife instead?
But that's impossible.
Ha!
Well, careful, honey. That dog has a knife.
What? No, I don't.
What? No, I don't know.
Then we killed Laura.
No.
Yes. I love that.
I saw my opportunity and I took it. I'm sorry.
Great job. Great job. That will be all. This court is adjourned.
Objection. But the tunnel, the paw prints. What of them? Albert is something of a wanderer. Perhaps he just happened across the tunnel one day. Although I couldn't say for certain. I myself cannot wander quite so freely. That would be quite a coincidence, but I can't prove it's not the case either.
She sure knows how to keep a secret, huh? Kinda wish she'd kicked us in the teeth a little earlier with that.
She was baiting me, waiting for the perfect moment to crush me with an autopsy report. and I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Sound familiar, Eddie boy?
I don't want to talk about it, Fender.
You are lead attorney for the defense, correct, Mr. Fender? This is the interim autopsy report in question. I do apologize for the delay.
Oh, phew! For a moment I thought it said intern autopsy report. And no swear that. Thanks for hooking us up.
Autopsy report. Data jotted down in my organizer.
Yeah, but all checks out. Yeah.
Mr. Fender, a handshake is not necessary when receiving official court documents, you know.
How about a hug?
Doubly not so that. So please feel free to let go of my hand. It is not a holy relic after all.
I was just trying to be friendly, Your Honor.
I can tell you that you don't use hand creams. Had you lingered a moment longer, the goddess of justice would have spoken to you through my gavel.
You know what? That's
Only
fair.
a spit and polish, no substitute for it.
Christ, Fender.
All right, I got it.
Moisturizer.
Nice work, Gavel. Just like all according to plan.
Just like I planned it. I
All
did only
according
as
to
you
Jacob.
instructed, Eustace. But
You did.
thank you.
I instructed nothing.
This report came from the police. I have no choice but to accept its legitimacy. But if the dog didn't kill Knight, then that takes Canis out of the running.
The goddess of justice speaks to me, Mr. Edgeworth, and she is merciful. She tells me that you might yet keep your badge if you will finally abandon this fruitless quest.
This goddess of justice, is she in the room with us at the moment?
What's that move, sir? I think she really means it this time.
What do you think, Detective? My answer remains the same, Judge Gavel. I will see my duty done, and I will not be intimidated.
Oh, you sweet summer child. Even with how things stand, you still refuse to concede. This may very well be your last chance. Your badge hangs by a thread.
Then let it fall if it must. I have something far more important to protect as an associate attorney. My client.
The goddess of justice is no doubt saddened by your refusal to accept yet another offer of mercy.
Oh dear. Edible knives. That's what I like to see. Looks like the defense never rests. It's finally starting to mean something to you. Credit to your old man, though. He's the one who said it first.
My father?
In fact, I could swear I saw Gregor's spirit in you for a second there. You said you've changed since your days in Von Karma's shadow.
Would you say it was a spirit of justice?
Oh,
I hope
roll
not.
credits.
No, don't roll credits. It's not that game.
I sure hope it isn't.
I didn't believe you at first, but now I'm starting to.
Thank you, Fender.
All right, kids. Fun is over. This is where the rubber really hits the road. Put your thinking caps on. It's make or break time, baby. If it's true that Knight has off the blade with a bladed weapon, then the whole case really fall apart.
A bladed weapon. Of course. There were 5 chisels in Canis' cell when we last looked. A former assassin certainly wouldn't struggle to commit murder with a tool like that. In which case, the weapon that killed Knight was...
Have you quite finished? It would
Hold
be your
it!
best.
Hold it! Evidence is everything. It may well be my little catchphrase. but it's also true.
My little catchphrase, friendship is magic.
So the murder weapon was a sharp blade? Then where is it? The guards didn't find it.
When did you let this go? So what if they didn't find it? What are you driving at?
What if I were to tell you that I now know what the real murder weapon was? And it was right under our noses the whole time. Indeed, it was one of Mr. Canis' chisels.
What?
Overruled! I would advise you to stop bombarding us with your irresponsible, half-baked theories, Mr. Edgeworth. You have repeatedly insisted that Mr. Knight was killed in his cell by a dog.
I simply go where the evidence takes me, both in the courtroom and at the scene of a crime. If the murder weapon was in fact a chisel, then yes, the murderer could not have been the dog. But that begs the question of what exactly it was we saw in the security footage.
Yeah, the security footage. How do you explain that, Mr. Smarty Pants?
An excellent question. The footage shows the dog jumping on somebody. Mr. Canis' dog jumping up at Knight. The dog attacked Knight, but he didn't kill the man.
He didn't?
No, Knight was merely knocked out. The dog didn't drag a corpse through the tunnel. He dragged an alive but unconscious Mr. Knight. The real killer was the dog's master.
Oh, I get it. Bring a Knight here, Mr. Canis would finish the job.
Def could use one of his. He could definitely use one of his chisels to do it.
Correct. You, Bodhihabahar Karis. You're the only one who could have had done it.
Objection! Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, you ever get this on your report card? Refuses to listen, must learn to respect others.
Are you
That's
asking me?
self-employed, that's me.
Are you asking me or confessing on to what's on yours?
Yes!
Yes, self-reporting.
As
We
a
already
cell
s-
phone.
We already searched Mr. Canis' cell from top to bottom, right, Cavell?
Mm-hmm. Yes. We even inspected his chisels. All 4 of them.
Except you have nailed it hard into the wall that you're in his pocket.
There wasn't a single speck of blood.
Hold it.
Wait a minute.
Why, thank you, Your Honor. You have just confirmed my theory.
I have? What exactly do you mean?
The last time we were here, there were 5 chisels, not 4.
Oh yeah, I remember counting them. Definitely 5.
And the one that's missing is...
The small one. The one we thought might be a pocket chisel. Mr. Canis, where did you hide that chisel? A pocket chisel? And what use might I have for such a thing? I'm rarely allowed to leave my cell. In which case, he shouldn't have had the chance to dispose of the weapon. You've dug your own grave, Mr. Canis.
You seem to have an idea where this missing chisel might be, Mr. Edgeworth. Would you care to enlighten us?
For a man who can't leave his cell of his own volition, Canis could have only hidden the chisel here, in maximum security itself. Mr. Canis is still a prisoner, despite the comfort he enjoys. He is rarely allowed out of his cell. He could have given the chisel to his dog to leave somewhere, but that would have been far from ideal. He would have no way of guaranteeing where it might end up. Intriguing. Do go on, Mr. Edgeworth.
So the theory about it, why is it tied up with that bell? The one that's missing is tied up with a bell, wasn't it?
Correct, yeah. Furthermore, this room is the one place where a bladed instrument wouldn't raise an eyebrow. 4 chisels, 5 chisels, who's counting? A fact he took full advantage of.
The old keep the incriminating evidence close routine. Classic.
Objection! I looked! I searched the whole self myself, and there's just no way he could have hidden it.
We've already established that you're very stupid.
Objection.
I tried!
I'm certain that the murder weapon is here, and that the reason why no one has found it yet is because it was hidden in such an ingenious manner. Hold it. Do enlighten us, Mr. Edgeworth. What was my ingenious plan?
It's in the dog's collar, isn't it?
Think, Miles. There must be a hiding spot he could have made use of. Think about when you came here previously. What are you missing?
Oh, sorry. He's not showing us out permanently, right?
The dog! He hasn't made a sound today. When we were here before, he barked and growled repeatedly. Kenneth even encouraged him to do so. That must be it. I knew something was off. I can hardly believe it, but I think I know where he hid the murder weapon. Given up already? I expected more of you, Mr. Edgeworth. Hold it. As well you should, if you would give me a moment. This piece of evidence shows where you hid the murder weapon. The doggo.
Yes. What the doggo?
Your
Kinda
dog.
extra fucked up.
He seems unusually quiet today.
Oh yeah, nice. Last time when
Mr. Canis, if you would be so kind as to open Helmut's mouth.
what's that in your mouth?
Starts chewing faster.
Oh, come now. He hasn't barked because he isn't a well-behaved boy. I had to order him last time. Then order him again, this instant.
It's not like we're asking for the world, Mr. Canis. Or do you have something to hide?
If you insist, come on, Helmut, open up. Good boy.
Ding dong.
And there we have it. A chisel that small could have...
What? A chisel in the dog? Why is there a chisel in the dog? What fucking franchise am I in?
I thought he'd be strangely quiet. I guess his brain is finally caught up.
Shush, 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 shush. Shush, Eustace.
The grown-ups are talking now.
Now, as soon as you're done with your existential crisis as to what franchises you're in, why don't you be a good boy and call forensics? Tell them it's urgent.
Okay. Well, yeah, my crisis on my way there. Wow, that was fast.
Our findings are as follows. Traces of blood were detected on the chisel.
What?
Not such a half-baked theory after all, was it?
Alright, so we're all on the same page here. This is a murder weapon, yeah?
The forensic evidence cannot be ignored. We have no choice but to concede that this most likely is the case.
Chisel data, jotted down in my organizer.
Mr. Canis, in light of the discovery of the murder weapon, the court demands that you explain yourself.
Okay, I am going to hot potato Canis because my throat is actually starting to hurt. So who wants to take over Canis?
May I take him?
Oh. Go
Sure.
for it, Burr.
Yeah, sure. We found the
I was
route
just
your
going
dog.
ellipses.
We found the route your dog took to the holding cells, and now we have the chisel. How do you propose to talk away to this one?
You never fail to entertain, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, just laugh like that, even when it's not funny.
Because it's easy to arrange, son of a
from
bitch.
Dark Souls. Poor helmet. How could they suspect us? You leave me little choice. I shall simply have to share you with the truth. I did not kill anyone. I have grown tired of killing.
Something's not right. Why is he so calm?
Very well. The court will hear Mr. Canis' theory. Testimony. That's the word. Yes. If you would be so kind.
If I have to.
I would say yes, please.
Canis' defense.
Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive to have been. I never knew this knight. I had no contact with him. No connection whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Given that this is the case, why would I possibly wish him dead? And now not only my dog, but also my kitty is concerned why I have such a husky voice. Could it be that you're suggesting that it was my canine companion who had the motive instead? Maybe the knight didn't give him the sausages from his food. Helmet only bears his fangs when I tell him to. I am not so bloodthirsty that I would kill a man I did not know.
Well, when he puts it that way.
An assassin who only kills his acquaintances? Not the soundest business model, I agree.
It's very funny.
Did you not hear the
Sound is
statistics?
model.
Did you not hear the statistics, Mr. Edgeworth? Most murders that happen between acquaintances. My work required me to deal with strangers, of course, but murder for its own sake, that's not my style.
So, I need to prove a link between Knight and Canis. I should go over the evidence again and see what I can discover.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Do you remember, audience?
From last week?
Yeah, I do actually.
I because I rewatched it.
Oh Lord, Burr, save your voice. Yeah.
Roger.
There's the chest
But I
diagram.
was making a joke about it being a little bit like, you know, one of the things of like feeling almost Dora-esque of like the player. We can't have Edgeworth the smart one say this. We have to let the player have a chance to do something.
Objection! You're getting sloppy, Mr. Canis. You may have trained your dog to clean up your mess, but some things still require a human touch. We found this in the victim's room. It's the record of a game of correspondence chess. What's more, the game depicted matches the game laid out on your board.
What?
The number of possible games has been calculated to be 10 to the power of 120, and that's on the low end.
Wait, so that's 10 times 10, 120 times over, right? 100.
Okay.
I give up. I mean, what do you even call a number that big?
It's bigger than the Google, I'll tell you that much.
A vanishingly unlikely coincidence, that's what. Now tell us why you killed Knight. Unless, that is, you prefer to explain the coincidence?
Ellipses. They do say that truth is stranger than fiction. It is, as you say, a coincidence. Also, we were playing anonymously. I only knew my opponent as Master Strategist 69.
And Kay is dead again. Good job.
that just fucking got me. Oh my
Another
gosh.
Link
Okay.
death bike from Kay.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm keeping score how many times they die on one episode.
This calls for
Oh goodness. But that's totally impossible. We just proved that.
A coincidence of a different kind, child. I never imagined my correspondent was the victim, you see. And yet here we are. Helmet is as surprised as I am, aren't you, Helmet? Yes, who's a surprise boy? Who's a surprise boy?
Chestagram data updated in my organizer.
I suppose there's nothing for it but to finally tell the truth, yeah, boy. The other prisoners had all gone to the yard, you see. There was a show of some sort, I believe. Here I was, minding my own business, when in comes Helmet dragging a corpse of all things. I had quite a shock. I'm asking, what do you have in your mouth? And he keeps chewing faster. Not least because the murder weapon was still in the poor fellow's neck. Of course, I was not too keen on becoming a suspect, so I had Helmet take the body to the workshop. Once there, he removed the murder weapon and brought it back to me just as I had asked.
The dog pulled out the murder weapon in the workshop?
Indeed he did. Removing it here would have made an awful mess after all.
You know, I think that makes total sense. Remember what Mr. Saw had said, Mr. Edgeworth?
Lenny,
This is a Frank bit.
Yeah, it's definitely not a jolly scene.
That too.
Lemming, are you
That's-
here?
Lemming?
There we go.
yes. That huge black dog
Look, we've lost you before.
has sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat.
What did you just say?
It was hellish, utterly hellish. That beast, that awful beast, he killed him.
I see. So what Mr. Sword actually saw was Helmet removing the weapon right then.
precisely. I can't say I wasn't a little disappointed that he was spotted, of course. Silly boy. It's not like you to slip up like that, is it, boy? Is it, boy? Who's an invisible assassin? And
I
there
love
you
how we're
have
all. I love how everyone has taken Canis being so fond of his dog and just ran with it. So good.
I mean, look, his animation is constantly being licked by Helmet on the ear.
Yeah.
And there you have it. That's about all there is to tell. I did not kill the man. At most, I'm responsible for the removal of the weapon. Oh, will that be all? So, for being an accessory, what you gonna do? Lock me in a cell? Poor Helmet is growing restless.
What you gonna do? Lock me in a cell?
Objection. Sorry, but you can entertain us just a little longer, Mr. Canis.
Fender?
No offense, Paleo. I don't think your quiet told us everything. I'm sure we'd all like to know why you thought you needed to pull the chisel out in the first place.
He is right. It makes sense that he would move the body to avoid suspicion, but Canis has no reason at all to recover the murder weapon.
Well, it's my chisel, isn't it?
Yeah, he needs his tools.
So, the mute one isn't as dumb as I thought.
I beg your pardon?
Please, please answer the question, Mr. Canis.
He's arguing with himself.
Business as usual, then. It was because of the bell. The one attached to the chisel. The one around Helmut's neck. They have a very distinctive design, if you will.
Of course. There was something of a trademark of yours, were they not?
Get it? How does that even work?
Bodhidharma Canis, the blind butcher. His appearance was always announced by the sound of bells. The last sound his victims would ever hear.
You flatter me. But it's been some years since you last saw one of them. You remember them well?
Your knife and its attached bell were one of the pieces of evidence seized in our case against you.
Yes. It was but one of my bells. One of the only two in existence.
Just two?
Two and only two. They were given me by my former flame, Shelley the Killer. You might have heard of him. One for my knife and one for my beloved helmet. Exquisitely crafted, very unique, utterly even. My ears are my guide, after all. And I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me.
Mr. Canis's bell data jotted down in my organizer.
When Helmut brought the body to my cell, I was rather surprised to hear a familiar sound. At first I was sure that my knife had been used to do the deed. But no, a chisel, an ordinary chisel.
It's certainly no assassin's blade.
Nonetheless, the bow would have suggested my involvement. Compounding the matter is the fact that I am the only person in this prison permitted to use such tools. It was clear that I would become the prime suspect. And so the chisel had to be removed and hidden.
Hold it! You still claim that all you did was have the dog move the body, that you had nothing to do with the killing?
Hold it! How could I? I told you, the chisel's not mine. You needn't take my word, Mr. Edgeworth. Why not have it checked for fingerprints?
Ha! Eustace.
Huh? Me? But I don't know how to check for prints.
Get forensics.
I didn't even know they left. Sure thing.
I love how much you clearly love him. Oh my god.
I adore him. He's so stupid. He's my child. But we got them. Fingerprints. They're Mr. Knight's.
And Mr. Canis's?
No, just Mr. Knight's. Forensics said there's no sign of any prints having been wiped off.
Smug ellipses.
Only Knight's fingerprints. This is not good.
Should I get them to check again?
Now do you see? I have never so much as touched a chisel. Helmet carried in his mouth, that is all. Therefore, any prince must belong to whoever had it last.
Ah,
So the murder weapon belonged to the victim? Oh, that's not helpful.
thanks, Eddie.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Just like, is it just like, oh yeah, bummer.
Captain Obvious offering his services.
I love Fender.
As I said, I have not touched a chisel. Therefore, I cannot be the killer. Or do you wish to suggest otherwise?
I've got nothing to counter with. But what could this mean? Is he not the killer after all? Is he actually telling the truth? No, he can't be.
I am sure this goes without saying, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you do not find a solution to your current predicament, and quickly, I will have little choice but to relieve you of your badge. Even my patience has a limit, and I will not tolerate to you throwing this investigation into chaos. Am I clear?
You've done it now, sir. She's serious.
Yes, thank you, Detective. I hate to admit it, but the fingerprints turn everything on its head. Without more evidence, I'm back to square one.
Hey, doesn't a few things actually. What Mr. Knight needed a chisel for?
Did you see his jaw? It is chiseled. You can do a lot with a chisel, child. One day I'm going to show you the 120 things you can do with a chisel. Well, you can break out of prison for one.
All right, then how did he get it in here? There's no way guards would let him bring a super sharp tool in with him, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
The chess set.
You are also too young for me to explain how he could have smuggled the chisel in.
Hey, Earth to Mr. Edgeworth! I can't snap because I'm wearing my carpal tunnel gloves.
I can.
Thank you. I'm trying to like doing the thing that happened last time where she tries to snap to get his attention, which is like the most hypocritical thing coming from girl with the most ADHD to ever ADHD.
Hello. Hey, Edgeworth lawyer. Hello.
Yeah. God. Anyway, you can't just stand there hemming and hawing just because of a little setback. The important thing is finding the truth, you know?
Never stealing it.
No matter how we get there. As long as we save Simony in the end, we can't give up now or ever.
Yeah, what she said.
I'll second that. The power of friendship is a wonderful thing. You want me around with that, Kay? I'm half tempted to offer you a job for real. It's like I said, the defense never rests. Or rather, like your pop said. What do you think lies at the heart of those words, Miles? Any guesses?
The heart of those words?
It's like this. As defense attorneys, our client's face rests on our shoulders. We're the only ones who they can turn to. Simeon's their client, and we're the only ones who can save him. So we can't rest. Not while he's counting on us. I'm not about to turn my back on your old man legacy. Are you?
I'm an associate with the defense now. No, I'm an associate with my father's firm. That's the role I've chosen, and that means that if I fail to save my client, I have failed in my duties. I will honor my father's vision and save Simeon Saint. No matter what setbacks I face, I cannot admit defeat. If one path is blocked, I must simply find another.
When Fender was doing his speech, I was very tempted to say, like, if you stand for nothing, Edgewood, what do you fall for?
Yeah. There we go. That's the Miles Edgeworth I know. Also, wonderful delivery. Thank you, Burr.
Thank you.
Now let's find that new path forward. We can start by trying to figure out how Mr. Knight brought that chisel into the prison.
Guys, it's with the chess set. What?
Yeah.
Right. How would Knight have managed to bring a chisel in here? The chess
My
set.
son may be dumb, but I am not. Not that dumb, anyway.
Take that. Usually, it would be possible to bring a metal object into this facility undetected.
Because of the security gates, right?
Correct. We already know that checks at one of the gates haven't been entirely thorough of late. Namely, the gate at the entrance to the detention center.
That gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are only subjected to a cursory check.
Are you telling me that the chess set wasn't put through the metal detector?
It should have been. Alas, it seems the guards have grown a little lax in that regards of late.
Knight took advantage of this little oversight and had Mr. Saint bring him the chisel, hidden inside his pocket chess set.
Huh. That does answer one of our questions. And it suggests that the chisel was indeed Mr. Knight's and not Mr. Canis's.
Pocket chess set data updated in my organizer. However, we still have one rather pressing problem to address. That of the security footage in which Knight is attacked by a dog. How does one explain it if Mr. Canis was not the culprit?
But then how do you explain this prince not being on a murder weapon? This one's a real three-piper.
The three piper. That's a three-pipe problem. Like
Holmes.
like Sherlock Holmes, aka Sherlock Sholmes, as confirmed in this case when he said Flatbush Holmes. I'm not letting that go. It's so funny. But yeah, that's a fun reference. Sorry, I got excited. Go ahead.
That's fine. The court too finds itself wanting for a satisfactory explanation.
Wait, sir. I think it might be time to show another one of my secret weapons. Introducing secret weapon number 4, Lil V.
What sort of name is that, detective?
It's a red knight.
I came up with it myself, sir. Anyway, you can use it to analyze the video footage.
I love his secret weapons.
An excellent idea. Perhaps then he might finally see that I'm telling the truth.
They lost an eye there.
Who knows if there's anything to be found, but it has to be worth a try.
I love the canon typos in this game. They're very funny.
Also, I'm
All
waiting
right.
for little V to drop a thick album.
Want me to talk you through how to use it, sir?
Seeing as I'm not exactly familiar with the video analysis techniques, perhaps I should hear him out. Sure, why not? If you could run me through its functions, Detective, that'd be most appreciated.
Yes, sir.
And they don't let Gumshoe talk, so.
So, basically, you just gotta do what you always do. Be smart, and examine anything that catches your eye.
Look into every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Mm-hmm.
And I can examine things with why, I see. Or...
No. You examine things and blah. Yeah.
Next up, see those controls at the bottom of the screen? The panels on the left and right let you rewind or fast forward. You can use the middle one to pause. Get used to those, and you're golden, sir.
It seems I can also press to fast forward or to rewind the footage. And I can press to pause.
I just wanted to say I adore that Damshi is once again shown as the electronics geek.
And I also want to say, good man, back.
Yeah. Hang on. There it is.
Perfectly cut screen.
When the video's paused, you can use the previous flame. You can go to the previous frame with blur, or the next frame with blur.
Blur and rur. Got it, Detective.
Or just use the control panels I showed you earlier. Lastly, I'd better explain how to zoom in. Just line up the old cursor with the area you want to take a closer look at. Then use the panel in the top right, and little V will do the rest. The bottom right, actually. It's got those two expanded arrows right on it. You can't miss it, sir.
Detective, you're holding little V upside down.
Oh, that's all right.
It would appear I can zoom in by pressing 2.
I taught him well, guys. I taught him well.
Yeah. By the way, even when you're zoomed in, you can still examine stuff, just like regular view. Also, you can make use of previous and next frame to get a look at what's really happening. Only thing you can't do when you zoomed in is play the footage, so there's that.
I see. And how do I zoom out again?
Use the panel in the lower right again, sir. See how it's gone from expanding to collapsing arrows on there? That's because you zoomed in. And that about sums it up. Now let's fire little V up for real. Remember, just examine anything that catches your eye and you'll do fine.
The footage from Knight's holding cell. Other than the victim being attacked by that dog, I can't see what else it might show us. But suppose we're wrong. What could we be looking at instead? Could the person in the footage be someone other than Knight? And if so, could whatever's attacking them be something else too? I should keep both questions in mind while reviewing the footage.
I picked the wrong time to put a sweet in my mouth.
Oof.
You never know what you're going to see once you start looking at things up close.
Yeah, you can take your time, Detective. That's your only sweet.
Yeah, take your time.
It's all good. Check every detail, sir. You'll find something, I'm sure.
Now you can continue with this.
What in this footage seems odd?
I spent some of my savings on Haribo.
I don't think it's a dog.
No.
No,
I don't
it's
think
Check
it's
out,
a
check out
dog.
the mirror.
It's-
Check out the mirror.
Yeah, the mirror.
Check the mirror.
Check out the mirror. Like when his back's like to what?
It's definitely smaller than helmet.
Yeah, I also don't think it's night. I think it's a guard being attacked.
Yeah, and it might be a monkey. Monkey!
We should be able to zoom in on it though, and like see what it is.
This point
Right?
here. Yeah. Then frame by frame it.
Yeah, this is a god. We can see the hat.
Oh, maybe that's the inconsistency. So yeah, it's
But
probably
what is lodged on his face?
Face hugger.
Oh,
A drop
God.
Maybe we
bear!
should look at not in the mirror. Maybe that will help.
Mm.
Or like when it's like running up.
Oh, don't mean to press that.
Let's try to do that. The hat looks odd. Because the hat definitely looks odd. Knight did not have a hat like that.
As a guard is being assaulted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Zoom in the hands.
yeah, let's like move back. Let's see like its run up. Yeah, zoom in on the bottom one while it's running up. That's not the zoom in button.
Yeah.
That's not me trying to be mean there. That's me just being like, wait a second.
That's a. Ooh.
It's a bear.
That's a bear.
bear.
Polar bear. Surely.
Mm.
Only black.
Yeah, because it came out of the tunnel, presumably.
Yeah.
Rocco Carceretto?
Mm.
So, look. I suspect we made a critical error in judgment. What we're looking at here is no dog. This animal is a bear.
I like how one of the things is a pig. Very
That's
funny.
not a
A
dog.
man bear pig.
It's not a dog, it's a bear.
What? So the paw prints from the photo I took.
Well, not canine, but ursine. Tunnel prints data updated in my organizer.
Sorry, that's just put in my head again. Good grief, the comedian's a bear.
A bear? So
No,
could that
he's a
mean...
nut. No, he's a nut. He's wearing a necktie.
Yes, I think it could. After all, who else do we know with such a pet? And if we were mistaken about the creature in the footage, it's not inconceivable that we were mistaken about the person in the footage too.
Maybe there's something in here that could prove it, sir. Something that shows it wasn't night.
You're right. We can't see the person's face, which means a direct identification is out of the question. Perhaps there's something that could tell us who they are indirectly.
Indirectly? Like the mirror?
Yes, it's certainly worth a
You're
look.
2 steps ahead.
Do you know what that is, children?
It's very funny to me how y'all were like 3 steps ahead of the game.
That happens a lot with this franchise.
I mean, this is not our first rodeo.
Oh, for sure.
One step ahead of the bread
I
line.
keep thinking about, the time that drifting drifting got the right answer through the complete wrong line of reasoning.
Yeah, that sounds about accurate for my entire life, honestly.
It was the first case of follow justice. all
Yeah,
that.
I know. It's still.
And to be clear, I say that with affection. I do not think you are dumb. You are in fact very, very intelligent.
No,
And I love
the
you.
idea of like me coming to the solution completely on my own, completely through like wrong thinking. That's just my life in a nutshell.
The figure is reflected in the mirror here too. Is that a hat?
Say, doesn't that look like the hats the gods wear, sir? Oh, jeez, is that what I think it is?
Have there been any reports of one of the animals attacking a guard recently?
Not that I've heard of.
So this may not be a guard at all, but somebody dressed as one.
Or that might be the guy that's incapacitated in the hospital.
Perhaps this might shed some light. This might shed a little light on the matter of the hat. The missing guard uniform.
Yeah, the missing. Yes.
Take that. So no guards are reported being attacked by an animal as far as we know, but we did hear about a guard's spare uniform being stolen. Could the person in the security footage perhaps be someone disguised as a guard? Someone attempting to escape without being noticed?
A guard disguise? I guess that might work. Wait, weren't we just talking about someone?
We were indeed. Someone who seems to have successfully made his escape. We had assumed that it was night in the security footage.
Sal, it's hardly a crazy theory.
Perhaps, but now that we know about the hole under the bed, it is no longer the only possibility. Whoever had access to the tunnel could very well be the one caught on camera.
I think Laura's spirit back.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
No, I did say the line. I just forgot to unmute. Oops.
Oh, oops.
Oh, no.
Laura's muted.
Oh no.
It's okay. I'll do it again. And who was that, Mr. Edgeworth? Would you care to tell the court who you believe this person to be?
Your Honor, you're muted.
The person in the security footage is very obvious.
Rocco
Hey.
Camperato.
Hey, I'm jailbreaking here.
Take that. I
Hey,
believe
I'm jailbreaking here.
I believe I know who our
think the whole
guard.
case has been building up to that. Sorry.
That's right. I believe I know who our guard in disguise is. It's none other than Rocco Casaretto, the prisoner who recently escaped from this facility.
Is that another add to our killed K count?
Yeah.
I'm confident it's him because he was assigned a polar bear cub as his companion.
Which seems a bad idea, considering how vicious polar bears are. I don't know if that has come up yet, but I just needed to make sure it was on the fucking record, because oh my god, polar bears are terrifying.
Yeah.
But you know what they're terrified of?
You.
What?
Brian Blessed, apparently.
I mean, sure, anyone would be, but like it's the same. It's like the same level of aggression, I think, as grizzlies, and grizzlies are like. I ended up down a whole research rabbit hole when I was like, are there bears in England? And then I was like, oh no, and they went extinct sometime during like the 1700s or earlier, like sometime before the 1700s. I don't remember exactly when I found it, but it turned out there was previously I believe the European bear, which is most similar to the grizzly, and like, and I'm like, oh, I understand why they were killed to extinction. Those are very dangerous and terrifying. Like, not great, obviously, but like, England's a small place. It makes sense. It was a whole like rabbit hole, but like, yeah. Sorry, I've been in grizzly country before, and there's a lot of like warning and training that all the park rangers give you.
Mm-hmm. But like polars are like worse, from what I've heard.
Polars are that, but worse.
Way worse.
Yeah, I've seen a grizzly up close, and they're like a medium-sized car.
Yeah, they're like what sharks are in propaganda, if you will.
Yeah. And they are pretty much the European and American equivalent of hippos.
Yeah, they're very scary. And again, it's like this is why I do not blame, perhaps medieval era Britain for getting them all. But it also does make the fact that like both Winnie the Pooh and Paddington, and I think there's one more something Corduroy. I don't remember. There's another bear who's like an iconic British figure. Anyway, sorry. This has been Bear Talk.
Yeah.
I would say Rupert Bear comes to mind for me, but I don't know if that's what you're thinking about.
It might be that one.
I just wanted to say that no European language, in every European language, the word for bear is not really referring to an animal. It all sounds like a you-know-who. It's like, the one that eats honey, or the brown one.
Yeah.
Because
it's really neat.
Because referring to the actual name of the bear will bring the bear to you, and you'll have bad time.
It's really fascinating. I love language, and bears. I do love bears. And I love you, Burr. But the bear. Anyway, back to the show. I got so excited to talk about this thing I learned about bears.
The bear,
Exactly. But the bear in that video is all black. I read the line.
Sorry.
You're all good.
Indeed. And we have evidence that explains why. The evidence that explains the polar bear's dark fur is...
Secret tunnel!
The rubber glove.
Yeah.
Take that.
All right, the mud thing.
Recall, if you will, Mr. Frank Sawyett's testimony.
Where's that button?
That's the rubber glove I dropped.
Would you care to explain why it's so dirty?
Of course. That's mud from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing. I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened.
I see. Around what time would this have been?
Let's see. The show had already started, so around 9 a.m. perhaps. The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got, and the darker the animal's fur became.
And no word of a lie, the more I use this voice, the more my left leg jitters.
Curious.
There's no trance quite like the trance one enters when one slathers an animal with thick black mud.
The power of acting.
Thank you.
While the circus performance was underway, he was giving one of the animals a mud pack treatment.
That animal could have been...
Indeed, our polar bear.
Overruled. Mr. Edgeworth, your latest assertion simply introduces yet another contradiction.
Can I quickly say a fun fact?
The footage from the security camera. Fun fact.
Objection. Yes, what was that, Drifting?
And polar bear actually has black skin under their fur.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's super cool because the white helps them blend in, but they have black in order to conserve heat.
Yeah.
Nice.
I fully understand, Your Honor, and your doubts are entirely justified. Mr. Sawhead mentioned applying the mud pack while the circus performance was underway, and this does indeed introduce a new contradiction concerning the security footage.
It does?
Yes, let's put it this way. When would you expect the footage to have been recorded, Kay?
If it was taken right after you applied the mud pack treatment, it should have been around 9 a.m.
Oh, but the footage timestamp.
In which case, something isn't right about the footage.
Really? And what's that?
What new contradiction does the security footage introduce relative to when it was recorded?
The timestamp.
Take that!
Mr. Sawhead said that he administered the treatment at around 9 a.m., in which case, the security footage should also show a time of around 9. However, the timestamp says 6:42 a.m. On the day of the murder, the prisoners all went out to the yard to watch the circus. All except 3, Mr. Canis, who remained in his cell in maximum security, Mr. Sawhead, who was administering a mud pack treatment in the workshop, and Rocco Casaretto, who had been awaiting that precise moment to put his escape plan into action. I believe he entrusted the bear to Mr. Sawhead before entering the tunnel. And the bear then slipped out of Mr. Sawhead's grasp to run after its human. Mr. Sawhead would then have left the workshop to pursue the bear, at which point he saw Mr. Canis' dog retrieving the murder weapon from Knight's body. It all fits perfectly, except for the security footage, which should have been recorded from around 9 a.m. However, the timestamp is 3 hours off.
Stamp be wrong.
Detective, would you like to have the security camera examined right away, please?
Right you are, sir. I'm back, sir. I just talked to the guards and, seems like the time codes can slip on these cameras if they lose power.
What?
They're pretty old, sir. Guess the clock stops when the power's off.
Which would mean the power's off for approximately 3 hours at some point. Security camera footage, data updated in my organizer.
At least they're not like the older ones that would reset to midnight when the power went off. And that's not all, sir. You remember how Knight denied stealing the keys? No one believed him, considering, well, you know, he seemed kind of like the only suspect. Turns out, this wasn't all he said. He also said he was knocked out cold, just like the other guy.
Which may not necessarily have been a lie. Okay, before we introduce Lagarde, I think it's a perfect moment for us to take a break.
Agreed.
Breathe out, Laura.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, everyone, we'll be right back after a short break. We'll see you all very, very shortly.
Is that really you?
We're back with part 2 of tonight's episode of City Voice Saturday, and so we're going to continue on. Let's get back into the game. Here we go.
As I was about to say before we got rudely interrupted by the break.
Darlings! There you all are!
God, I love your voice for Fifi. It's really good.
How goes the investigation? Is there anything I can do to help things along?
Actually, there might be something we can do for you, Warden Lagarde. The escapee, Mr. Casaretto. I believe he may still be on the premises. He's disguised as a guard. Here's the proof, should you need it. We're reasonably certain that the person captured on this tape is our man. If I'm correct, you might even be right here in this room with us now.
Hey, Mr. Otto would have been wearing a bracelet, right?
Yes, a bracelet that could easily be hidden under the sleeves of his stolen uniform. Furthermore, the doors out to the prison proper don't have those sensors that detect the bracelets installed. So if he avoided the doors with the sensors, he could simply wait for an opportunity to finally make his escape.
Before the line reads, I like how it uses like the crowd inside the courtroom noise just then, assuming it was like just the two guards making all of those noises just together.
Three, but it doesn't make it that much better.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to correct you there. I just think it makes it actually funnier that that they're trying to pass off three people as that much like the gallery gossip.
As the gallery gossip way more.
No,
people.
it's true. I guess it's true what they say. Three makes a crowd.
Exactly.
Three's the crowd. Oh my goodness.
If that's the reason, I'm gonna throw hands. Like with the pun name sometimes. It's like, I just want to throw hands.
Oh, well, oh, yes. I suppose he could. You just have to avoid the workshops and the cells and... Oh, my. He's one of you, isn't he? He's here right now!
Look, it's Teddy.
I just say I love Teddy's little mlet.
Yeah.
Okay. Given how Laura is playing two people already in this scene, we're thinking that we should pass Mr. Casaretto off to someone else, either Lemming or Mist. Do you want to give that a try? Probably Mist. Mist, you've not had a voice all episode.
I was going to say I'll pass this to Mist if you would take it.
I don't mind. I can take it.
Yeah.
Look, hey, pause off. Get your mitts off of me, you big palooka.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Teddy. Very kind of you to confirm our suspicions.
Dang it, kid. If it wasn't for you either.
Those meddling kids are the meddling bear.
What a thing is it to be loved, Mr. Casaretto. I'm almost envious. Almost.
I almost know how to feel.
God! Apprehend this man!
It's almost like my feelings for that man.
Real God!
A moment, if you will. I have some questions for our would-be escapee. If we are to learn the truth, I will just speak with him. With your permission, of course.
Oh, I can hardly say no now, can I?
Come on then, hit me with your best shot.
Mr. Casaretto's escape route led directly into Knight's cell, so it's highly possible he has something to offer. Tell me what you were doing on the day Mr. Knight's body was discovered.
Hit him with your best shot. See if he is a real tough cookie with a long history of breaking little hearts like the one in me.
Right out of the jaw here, yeah? So, it was you guys, huh? You're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. You know how long it took me to dig that frickin' thing? It had me guard's uniform, a hole dug, and a plan in place. So I went for it the day you found the guy. But then this little guy just had to come right up to me. The sack of fur was covered in mud too. I had to go back to our cell. Ugh. And I got away with it too if it weren't for you meddling people. And the silly polar bear too.
You claim to have dug a tunnel just now. How exactly did you do it?
Well, I used everything I could get my hands on, see? Hammers, spoons, you name it. Spent every time I had on this cockamamie fixer. And what have I got to show for it now,
Do not be disheartened, friend. Tomorrow is another day.
There's an outside chance Mr. Caserato and Knight met face to face just before Knight's death. I should see what the other details I can extract from him.
Bob, weave, dance, do the butterfly, sting like bee.
If I can dodge a range, I can dodge a ball.
I can dodge a range, I can dodge a pop. Ow, my face!
Dodge a ram.
Shame you didn't dodge the polar bear. Hold it! The uniform. Was that from the Fixer too?
Sure was. He had me saying something for one of them guards. Had the guy swipe it from the pal's locker.
And were you wearing it when you were crawling through the tunnel?
No. Would have got dirt on it. Had to hold it till it got to the holding cell. But once I was out of there and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. Here we go, I think. Freedom beckons. And then the furball here jumps up at me.
Which will be the moment captured on camera? I see. I'd be grateful if you could add that to your testimony.
Sure.
New line read.
Slow motion, bob and weave.
It's a new line, by the way.
Oh. Once I was out of that tunnel and all dressed up, opened the cell door should have been a piece of cake.
And why was it a piece of cake? Did you have maybe these? Objection! You claim that leaving the holding cell would have been a piece of cake, as you put it.
Yeah? You got a problem with that? Because we can make it a problem if you catch my drift. Jab, jab!
Even once you had reached Knight's cell, you still had another door to contend with. How exactly did you plan on opening it? Mr. Caserato, I posit that leaving the cell would have been a piece of cake only because you had the key.
Oof! I don't got no stinking key. I didn't need one. It was a piece of cake because the door was open. I walked right out.
Objection! Yes, I suppose Knight's cell was vacant by that point. There would have been no reason to lock it. And it was indeed unlocked when I went to examine it for myself. So perhaps when you had finally succeeded today, it truly was locked because it was after the murder. But you had attempted to escape previously.
Yeah, the security footage shows when you tried and failed because Teddy caught you.
Which was during the circus performance, before the body was discovered. The holding cell was still locked at that time because no one knew that Knight had been killed yet. Therefore, you must have had the key to his cell on you. Without it, your escape would not have been possible.
Are you saying... Could he really have?
I believe he could, yes. The theft of the keys was, in fact, perpetrated by none other than Mr. Casaretto. He is the one who attacked the guard. But not just the guard, Knight too, all to gain possession of the guard's keys.
It wasn't me, you lousy bum. I didn't even know this Knight guy.
Objection! After you stole the keys, you went back to your cell to avoid suspicion. And then you waited for the perfect moment to escape. A moment when the prison would be almost deserted. That's right, the moment of the show, just before the discovery of the body. Unluckily for you, that particular attempt was thwarted by your furry friend.
All day. Says who, huh? You got proof, genius? This ain't none your win yet, nah. Knight knocked out the guard out for the count, and everyone knows it.
Objection! Don't play games with me. Knight was as much a victim as the guard was in this case. As a matter of fact, I have proof that Knight had been attacked in his cell.
What you got? What you got? Come on.
The blood on the floor.
Take it! We found traces of Knight's blood on the clean and white floor of his cell. What could possibly explain such a thing other than him having been attacked? And it was you who attacked him. You ambushed both of them and stole the keys.
Why I order? What's with you, huh? That newspaper wiped that blood up good. Ain't no way you should have found it.
Again,
Okay, but why did you think you had to wipe it up anyway?
I don't think newspapers are that grand at mopping up blood, but okay, sure game.
If they'd checked
doesn't
Knight
know
in the
that.
guard's hands, they would have seen those two never came to blows.
Isba?
No, I just said he doesn't know that, and also he didn't have anything better than a newspaper. And the third thing I wanted to point that I forgot to point last time when we were talking about the newspaper on the pictures looked like a magazine with a thick, like, waxed paper. But, you know, the newspapers that are sold, like the recycled paper newspapers, they are very thin and they're pretty good at soaking liquids.
Hmm.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
So they're not that far away from a toilet paper quality.
But that blood'd give up the whole game. Ain't no way they don't figure out there was a third man in the ring. Plus, once they started sniffing around the floor, they found the tunnel in a heartbeat.
So you wiped the blood to buy yourself a little more time, so you could wait for a better opportunity? Sadly, the opportunity you sought wasn't good enough to get you clear of the prison, it seems. Now, hand over the keys.
Go! Ah! Ooh! Right in the kisser. Oh.
I love how Teddy just
And he's
leaps
down.
away.
K.O.
KO!
Perfect.
Flawless victory.
KO'd by a lousy, stinking bum. Oh, fine. You want the keys? Here, hope you choke on them.
This Knight's cell key data updated in my organizer.
Edgewood, don't put them in your mouth.
About time to do a cough and mute. Overruled. Wait a moment. If Mr. Coserato here had the keys.
Indeed, Your Honor. Your theory relies on Knight having used the keys he allegedly stole to escape his cell. That was the only way he would have been able to enter Mr. Saint's cage and be moved to the workshop. Unfortunately for you, we now know that that theory cannot possibly be true.
No!
Get that changes things up a bit, yeah? Now, the only person that could have moved Knight's body is the person who knew about that tunnel.
No, you gotta be freaking.
Mr. Coserato, you're under arrest. Now come quietly now, pal.
But I'm already in the prison. Wait, you got the wrong guy. I didn't do nothing. Alright, fine, I knocked those two chumps out and I stole the keys. Sure, yeah, whatever. But after I went right back to my cell and waited for my moment. Next time I went to Knight's cell, there was nobody around. And I mean, nobody. Plus, his body was found in a workshop. You think I just magicked my way there or something? I couldn't even got it out of my cell.
Indeed, you only had the key to Knight's cell. You couldn't have left your own cell back in the prison. But Mr. Canis's dog could.
What?
It was not you, but Helmet, who moved the body from your cell to the workshop.
I get it now. You're saying he wasn't the only con in this conspiracy. Waka
Indeed.
waka.
Indeed. One can easily imagine that Mr. Casaretto and Mr. Canis might have worked together. Mr. Casaretto could have killed Knight and dragged him back to his cell.
And then Mr. Canis's dog took him from there to the workshop.
There are no restrictions on the animal's movements within the prison. Movement between the detention center and the prison proper, however, is tightly controlled. There is only one possible route, and only you could have taken advantage of it, Mr. Casaretto.
Hold it. How can you be so sure, huh? Maybe there's more of them and you don't just know it.
Huh. Something tells me that digging in even a single tunnel was arduous enough.
You got that right. You try scraping more than one hole in the dirt with a spoon.
Or a chisel.
Lucky for me, I didn't have to dig the whole way. Someone already did a bunch of the work for me.
What? You didn't dig the entire tunnel yourself?
Nope. Found it when they put me in that cell.
3 guesses who was an inmate in that cell before.
Ran all the way from there to the well in the yard already.
It's got a
Sorry, I
little.
cut
It's
someone
got a little. There's already like scraped at the side of the wall. It's just A. Dufresne.
So it already goes from the well to the there's the well in the yard. So it goes from multiple places.
I even looked down the well to check it from there. It was the same tunnel, alright. I just made good on what someone already had started.
Then what was the original tunnel for?
Who knows? You're the only one with all the answers, pal. Maybe somebody else tried to break out.
Shoot, I started talking and then immediately accidentally muted. Okay.
Ooh, or maybe the animals dug it.
Like to get water from the well or something? I lost confidence in that as soon as I said it.
I don't wonder.
I've heard more plausible scenarios than that in B-grade movies, Kay.
I can tell Mr. Edgeworth is judging me.
He is.
I've seen more plausible
He's always
scenarios
judging
than
somebody,
Steel
though.
Samurai.
That's fair.
Well's dry, kid. Ain't no water been down there for years. I'm ad-libbing a lot of these lines, sorry.
Ad-lib away, is it?
Though, come to think of it, a smell. Yeah, always kind of smelled nice down there.
Nice?
Well, I don't know. Smelled sort of like dessert, I guess.
Huh.
A sweet scent? That sounds very familiar. Where did we come across a sweet scent before?
The workshop.
It was the body.
Yeah.
Take that! Detective Gumshoe noticed a sweet smell when we were examining Knight's body. With the help of the police dog, we followed the scent of the body and traced its route through the prison. And that, Mr. Casaretto, was how we found your tunnel.
Huh?
Could that same sweet scent be what you noticed coming from the well?
Very clever, Mr. Edgeworth. You mean to suggest that this is evidence of the body having been moved through the tunnel?
I do. Furthermore, Mr. Casaretto, you're the only person who could have done it. Nobody else had access.
Ha! You have our thanks, Mr. Casaretto. Truly. Finally. Finally. The truth comes into view. Now, unburden yourself. It is time. Confess your role in this tragic incident.
Wait, what? Nah, you ain't pinning this on me.
I'm glad to see that we are finally in agreement, Your Honor.
Oh, if only we were, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Carcerato may have been an accomplice, but not of Mr. Canis. No, he was working with Mr. Knight.
Hold it! What do you mean?
Shh. I do not believe that he moved Mr. Knight's body. Instead, I believe he lent Mr. Knight the use of the keys he stole.
You gotta be kidding me!
Granted, it seems likely that he attacked Mr. Knight. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Mr. Knight was knocked unconscious as a result. And what if he wasn't? What if he and Mr. Carcerato had reached a certain agreement?
What kind of agreement exactly?
Mr. Knight was plotting an escape for which he required a means of leaving his cell. And here was that precise means, in the form of the keys Mr. Carcerato had just stolen from the guard. Mr. Carcerato himself would need to pass through Mr. Knight's cell in order to effect his own escape. Mr. Knight needed only to shout and alert the guards, and Mr. Carcerato's plans would be ruined. And so, the two struck a deal.
Hold it, lady. The only striking I do is my fists.
Oh my. Still you deny it?
Yeah, what of it?
So are we agreeing that we still disagree?
Thanks, Fender.
You're welcome.
Oh goodness,
I love him.
he's so good.
I have to admit, I do think Eddie kind of steals the scene anytime he shows up.
He does, and Burr really gets to like highlight that because of the ad libs. I really love them.
He's got an affable. He's got like an affable, like charming quality to him.
Yeah. He's also, I believe, the only one of two defense attorneys we see who doesn't actually wear his badge. I just wanted to mention that. And he shares a similar charm quality with the other one, who's kind of a spoiler for Trials and Tribulations. And me saying that should get anybody who doesn't know to know. Who's played Trials and Tribulations.
Yeah.
So, yay! Just wanted to share that.
Mr. Knight had Mr. Carcerato unlock his cell so that when Mr. Saint arrived, he could escape into the cage. Mr. Saint was then able to move him into the prison proper just as planned.
Aha! And Daddy took Mr. Knight into the workshop and did the dirty deed.
Objection! Were neither of you listening? The scent on Knight's body proves that it was taken through the tunnel. It was moved from his...
Overruled. Perhaps if you would let me finish, Mr. Edgeworth. I am not denying that Mr. Knight's body was moved through the tunnel.
And what are you driving at?
Is this a trick question?
As you say, Mr. Edgeworth, the sweet scent shows the route the body took. However, it did not enter the tunnel from Mr. Knight's cell.
Huh? Then how did it get down there?
There is another possibility. One you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could the body have not entered the tunnel from there?
The well in the yard? Oh, yeah! Thing. Yeah.
That old chestnut.
I've been paying attention.
Mr.
Have
Saint
you?
did
Okay,
not
he's not been paying attention.
Okay, he's not been paying. Mr. Saint did not take the
I
keys
have.
to
The
the
character
workshop.
hasn't.
Fair,
Sorry,
fair.
go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Saint did not take the cage to the workshop, he took it outside. There, he killed Mr. Knight and threw his body down the well.
Hold on, while everyone was watching the show?
Behind the scene, probably, maybe.
Mr. Canis's dog then dragged Mr. Knight's body here to his owner's cell from the bottom of the well. On that note, I would ask you to recall something. What was happening in the yard at the approximate time of the body's discovery?
All right. Regina and Simon were performing for everybody. Simeon. I said his old name from the fan translation, which I'm not supposed to know about. Wait, Simeon! Hang on. Okay, it's not picking me up when I scream. Ah! To make sure it picks me up first.
You have to scream quieter.
Ah! Indeed. And so you see how it must also have been him who disposed of the body.
Judge Gavel is a truly formidable opponent. She so effortlessly adjusted her theory to fit the facts.
I propose that Mr. Knight was taken to the yard, not the workshop. And as we have established, Mr. Saint was off stage for 15 minutes. Ample time to throw the body down the well, I am sure you will agree.
Objection. Your deduction is impressive, Your Honor. However, even supposing that Knight's body was indeed thrown down the well, you cannot conclusively say that it was during the show. It could have happened at a different time.
Overruled. My sympathies, Mr. Edgeworth, but it simply could not have.
What?
Mr. Carceretto was using the tunnel at around the time the show began. Mr. Carceretto, did you happen to trip over a corpse while you were down there?
No. Place was clean.
Ah.
If the body had been at the bottom of the well before the show began, Mr. Carceretto would have seen it. However, he saw no such thing. Which makes it somewhat difficult to support your theory. Furthermore, Mr. Knight's body was discovered in the workshop after the show. In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop. At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint?
No!
Do, Mr. Edgeworth?
If the body did indeed enter the tunnel from the well, things don't look good for Mr. Saint. Still, Your Honor, your theory is still just that, a theory. And I posit that you lack the evidence to back it up.
I can
Is it a game theory? Sorry.
It's a murder theory.
I concede that, for the moment, I do not.
It's a theory, a Gavel theory.
Thank you for watching.
May I suggest that we investigate the yard again?
Ha! Very well. May the goddess of justice go with you.
No, I work alone.
Now then, to the yard. Perhaps we can finally put this case to rest. Huh? What's that sound?
I thought that was in real life, but that's in the game. Oh my gosh. Yikes! Is there a fire?
Did somebody else escape?
Should we maybe skip down to?
Hold it! Darlings, please! There's nothing to be alarmed about.
Except
By
the
which
alarm.
I mean, that's not the alarm. It's the dinner bell!
Wait, what?
Although, I suppose it is rather alarming if you aren't used to it.
I love the wordplay. It certainly scared the heck out of me. Okay, that's because you have an immediate fight or flight reaction to the sound of the cops who are gumshoe. Because you're a thief, girl.
I am so sorry, sweet pea. I hope you can forgive us. All right, you two. Back to your posts. Chop chop!
Yes, Mom.
And as for you, Rocco Casarato, it's time you went back to your room to think about what you've done.
You're grounded.
Oh, fine. I get the picture. Come on, Teddy. We're out of here.
Sit in the naughty corner for 30 minutes and don't leave that place. Until you're ready to
Yes,
say
miss.
sorry to me.
Sorry, miss.
Warden Lagarde, we'd like to take one more look around the yard now.
No, wait a moment, Edgeworth. I wanted a dinner.
Don't you have homes of your own to go to?
We'll get takeaway, Fender. Visiting hours. Yes, takeaway. Yes, Gumshoe, I'll pay for you as well.
Hey!
Nice.
L
Thank you,
dudes,
Mr.
L
Edgeworth. I
dudes,
didn't want to
L
say
dudes,
anything.
L dudes.
Obviously, it's Eldoon's. Or the local burger joint.
Either or.
I want extra salt.
Everyone wants extra salt.
And now I wish we had to be here to give his Eldoon impression.
Yeah.
Salted noodles.
And all this time I didn't realize this was my line. Oops. Oh dear. Visiting hours are over, I'm afraid. Tomorrow.
No, it's imperative that we investigate it right away.
I think we've had quite enough excitement for one day, don't you? Murderers? Escapees? So eventful. It's time our guest went home to Betty Boys, isn't it? Yes, it is, yes, it is.
Dude, who made you a
Also, Edgeworth and sleeping. Have you met the guy?
Come
This
on
guy,
now,
this guy won't sleep for a further full week because of the shenanigans pulled both in this game and in the flashback case of Apollo Justice.
Edgeworth can't sleep because there are enemies nearby.
Wow.
Just remember
Come on
that
now,
next time you're having a bad night.
All right, let Laura finish the line.
Don't make me bore you with this, with all of that. I am the warden. This is an order. Nonsense.
Oh.
Warden Lagarde is right. Her word is law here, and we must respect her wishes. Mr. Edgeworth, your investigation of the yard will have to wait until tomorrow. You may keep your badge for now. The matter of your standing can wait.
We need time to cover the tracks.
I bid you all a good day.
Bye.
It's time for Eustace to catch up on his multiplications.
Ah, no, not again.
No, Eustace. What is 6 times 7?
Believe that was just drifting.
Mood.
Yes.
That's also, I can't do 6 plus 7 most days because that's like,
It's math. Leave me alone.
yeah, like I know my multiplication tables, but there's some where I'm like, don't ask me that. No.
Just remember, 6 times 7 or 7 times 6 is the meaning of life. 42.
Yeah.
Damn it, I've been trying to fit in 15 seconds. Do you have to ask that math question?
Oh dear.
42.
6 times 7 is the
Yeah,
most
42.
frequent result on a 2 6-sided dice.
Fair dues. Think about it. What are you waiting for, Kiddikins? Off you go.
I also love how ridiculously fluffy that coat is that Lagarde wears.
Oh, good. I love her. I feel like Lagarde is a really elegant example of like good character design, good character writing, because like she's so like, you know, externally fluffy and kind of like almost cloying in her positivity, and like because this is Ace Attorney, you know there's something up.
Yeah.
Something's going wrong with this woman. Anyway, yes, sorry.
Fine. At least there is a tomorrow for me.
Bye, bitches.
Judge Gavell believes that Knight's body was dropped down the well and then taken through Mr. Carceretto's cell to the workshop. But is that truly the case? Do the facts really support her theory? She also seems to believe Mr. Saint had to be the one to move the body. But was he really the only one with the opportunity to do so?
Why is it not picking me up all the time? Why? Okay.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Tomorrow's another day. We'll figure out a way to save Simeon. I know we will.
Yes, we will. I will prove that Mr. Saint is innocent, beyond a shadow of doubt. To be continued. Right now, because we've got half an hour of the show left.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. I forgot.
You forgot.
I forgot.
It's fine. Just half an hour. March 29th, 10:12 a.m., Prison Yard. Here we are again. Let's hope we can find something this time that will finally reveal the truth behind it all.
Yeah, how... Do the keys contain the key to the well?
Maybe. Although that might be easier said than done.
There's nothing left to investigate.
Judge Gavell's abduction yesterday.
There is another possibility, one you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there? In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop. How? At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint?
Had Knight's body really been thrown down the well? The answer to that question will surely show us the way forward. Before we begin, I should tidy up my organizer a little. Necessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged.
Unnecessary evidence has been thrown down the well.
Here, Fender, hold this.
It's just like the unnecessary evidence given to Apollo. Same energy.
Hey, what am I going to do with this junk?
Let's see here. Huh. There's a cover on it.
A dried up well slap bang in the middle of a prison? Figures it'd be locked.
Well, luckily, I'm a master lockpicker. Want me to do my stuff?
I think not. We'll do this
Definitely
investigation by the book.
Come on, don't be such a stick in the mud. Whoa!
What is it, Kay?
The lock's broken, and from the looks of it... It's been broken for a long time.
If that's the case, then anyone could have thrown Knight's body down the well. Judge Gavel's theory was that Mr. Saint carried out the murder here in the yard, and then, during the performance, he threw the body down the well.
What are you thinking, Melzerino? Plausible or no?
Oh, why don't we see if Missile can help us out again? He'll be able to tell us if Mr. Knight's body was here and which way it went.
Good idea. I'll call Detective Gumshoe.
Pay the pet tax, Gumshoe.
Gumshoe speaking.
Detective, I need your assistance. Come to the prison yard and bring Missile with you.
You bet, sir. Gumshoe's 7 secret weapons to the rescue again, huh?
I'm fairly sure Missile belonged to the precinct. I'd also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Call the Big Berry Circus. Oh, sorry, the Very Big Circus, not the Very Big Circus. They're a terrible act. It's the Very Big Circus we want. And ask Miss Regina Berry to come down here with you.
Yes, sir. I'll be there before you know it.
Remember, not the Big Berry Circus, the Very Big Circus.
Do you think there's a vicious and evil rivalry between the Berry Big Circus and the Big Berry Circus?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, what should we do while we're waiting for Gummy? How about a quick game of hide and go? Okay. A quick game of hide and go seek. Okay.
Okay, no.
One idea, kiddo. Where exactly would we hide? In a well?
He's not seriously considering it. Your game can wait, Kay. We need to call on one of your more practical skills. I think you know the one.
Oh, you bet I do. One crime scene recreation coming right up.
Say what now?
Let me show you. Introducing a great thief's great secret weapon, Little Thief.
Me. Oh, whoa! Screens appear encrypting, eh? Some next level tech level, sis. Wanna tuck me through the deeds? What are you doing now?
I'm inputting everything we need for the simulation.
Allow me to explain. This is Mr. Thief. It's a device that can recreate crime scenes at specific moments in time based on the data you feed it.
How about I start us off with a recreation of what the yard looked like yesterday?
Good idea. That was when we were in the middle of tearing down the stage. We didn't pay much attention to the well then. Who knows? We may have overlooked something.
Leave it to me. I'll just use the photo I took.
Please, Kay.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Love it.
I love
Oh my god, it took me a second to stop giggling. Oh, that's all the data. Okay.
Oh, I just wanted to comment that Kay's like those guards in Half-Life 1 that make beep 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 sounds with their mouths.
That's all the data. Just gotta pump the projection power to max and...
What if Mr. Thief sounds exactly like whenever Weird's phone goes off on one of his streams?
Like,
I wish he was here to hear that joke.
don't worry. One of us will clip it and send it to him.
Yeah. Goodness.
If he was in this stream right now, and as soon as the line comes up, beep 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 beep, it pings right there.
His phone would go off at that moment.
It was, yes.
Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all singing. Now, witness the true power of a real, modern-day Robin Hood! I love her catchphrases.
Yipes! What is this?
It's a recreation of how things were yesterday, modeled on the data I gave Little Thief. This gadget was a tool used by the original Yatagarasu. But they used it to plan robberies.
That's interesting. I just had a pop-up.
Unlike you, who use it to plan what?
I just had a little pop-up call from.
Hi, Lewis.
Hey up.
Nice win.
He shows up, does that, leaves. Doesn't elaborate, just leaves.
Doesn't elaborate, leaves. Perfect. Then I would have done no notes.
That's all he needs to do. He's the hero we didn't need, but definitely wanted.
Yes.
Oh, that was so good. I've forgotten the comment I was going to make. Oh, yeah, no. I just see a little pop-up on my screen saying that someone's playing Marvel Rivals.
No one's playing Marvel Rivals. I was just seeing if it works.
Good. Yeah, I'm just joking.
Playing a game in the middle of a stream? Nonsense.
Well, there's no harm in using it for something on the right side of the law now.
Oh, but keep in mind, it can only recreate what you tell it to. It can't simulate things it doesn't have data for, and if the data itself contains mistakes, then you'll wind up with those same mistakes in the recreation, too.
But this particular recreation is based on Kay's photo, so we shouldn't run into any problems. That's a preamble. Shall we get started? Prison yard.
Don't forget, you can examine stuff in the recreation, just like in real life. You can also present evidence to try to clear up any inconsistencies you find.
Of course.
Oh, you just press X.
Thank you for the reminder. Now, let's take a closer look at that well. We should examine the area carefully. It may just hold the clue we need. First of all, 30-pound weight? It's a metal weight of some kind. It looks like it weighs... the projection makes it a little tricky to read. Do you remember how heavy it was, Kay?
It's not that hard to read. It was harder to read on DS, I'm sure.
Sure, it was 30 pounds.
I think Knight's weighs a bit more than 30 pounds.
Yeah.
What does anyone need such a heavy weight for anyway?
It doesn't seem related to the circus show at any rate.
I mean a heavyweight.
What are a bunch of pulleys doing down here? They don't seem to be well pulleys for lifting buckets.
But that does all look very incriminating. It looks like equipment for putting something down the well or pulling something out of the well.
There's a sturdy-looking hemp rope lying on the ground.
Kind of reminds me of ropes we used for playing tug-of-war in school.
The answer is no, Kay.
But I didn't even say anything. Yet.
I see it also has a metal stake attached to one end.
Unless, haha.
Unless. Oh yeah, it looks like something you'd use to put up a tent.
But there was no tent, was there? In which case, what was it used for? The well was behind the stage, which means
There. Oh, that's still you.
it's not even me.
I got excited. Oh, it's not even me. It's not even. It's Mr. Fender.
Oh yeah, it's me. There aren't many people who would have thrown Knight's body down there during the show.
This is looking worse and worse for Mr. Saint.
So, what do you think all the stuff around the well is used for?
However, may I say that this whole well is so very much in the view. It's not inconspicuous at any margin.
I think that's just so that we, the audience, can see it.
True.
I think it's like a translation convention type thing. It's my hunch. I don't know.
Well, that and I think the original theory that Gavel gave was the cage was moved there, so the cage could obscure line of sight technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would still, if I were a prisoner, I would still be very curious to see someone pulling the cage through the door. Like, don't mind me, guys. I'm just doing my things. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky.
Well, it could have been before the actual. Yeah, we don't know.
It's kind of like, remember how the kids were sneaking by when we were fighting the numbered guys in Sea of Stars? I would be something like that. Like, don't mind us. We're just dig, 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 dig. And everyone minded them. It would be something like that.
Okay.
Very fun. All right. I can't see any of the animals needing them for their part of the performance.
Indeed, nothing immediately strikes me as a likely purpose. We'll have to ask Miss Berry later.
If we inspect the folded chairs, will we see how they were set up or something?
Maybe. Oh, activated logic mode. Don't need that yet.
No need for logic.
Not now, logic.
These chairs must have been for the audience.
Wow. I pity whoever to put them all away.
Really? Why?
Huh. You've clearly had to fold up a bunch of boring chairs before, huh?
Well, not personally. I've told other people to do it, though, like Gumshoe and...
And it was fun.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta roll up your sleeves and help out once in a while.
I'll consider it.
Bitch, I'm too prestigious for that.
He'll consider it.
I'll consider.
That means no.
That means no.
I mean, that does generally mean no, but yeah.
Unless you're Spock. What was the name of our strong, happy friend again? Nelly?
Azia the Asian elephant.
Oh, of course. How could I forget?
Fun fact: if you leave, I think we experienced the bit where the elephant keeps hitting Kay while I wasn't here.
Yeah, we did.
But if you just leave it like that, she will just keep doing it. It will just keep going forever. I just mentioned that also because a friend of mine was first initially played Investigations 2, the translation, and got to that point while extremely tired and just laughed so hard that they knew they couldn't continue, levels of tiredness that were bordering on sleep drunk, you know. It's a very funny anecdote of a friend of mine.
I mean, I can imagine that if it was me, I would have laughed so hard I would have lost consciousness and just lying on the desk for 5 minutes while the elephant's still hitting Carrie.
Not exactly inspired, though, is it? Was Miss Berry having an off day when she came up with it?
Oh my gosh, Mr. Edgeworth! Not in front of the poor elephant herself!
She will remember that.
Yeah.
A Telltale game style info popping up on screen as Zia will remember this.
I suspect that's about all there is to find for now. Detective Gumshoe should be here soon, too. Kay, you can power down Mr. Thief now.
Crunch.
Oh no, she
Sure
crunched.
thing. Prepare to return to normality. We have normality. I repeat, we have normality.
In this
I'm,
game,
I'm just thinking about
unlikely.
Hitchhiker's Guide. Oh no, it's a Hitchhiker's Guide reference, which is equally as completely not normal.
I appreciate it.
Yee.
Sorry,
2 to
sir.
1, 1 to 1.
I came as quickly as I could. We have normality.
Speak of the devil.
Ah, Detective. That was indeed impressively quick.
You know me, sir. Never did like to keep you waiting.
Thanks for coming all this way too, Regina.
Problem. This seemed way more fun than rehearsals. So I did them for the day. Why is the doctor mad?
It is very much appreciated.
I'm so mad.
All right, Detective. Let's get started with Missile.
Yes, sir. Hey, Missile! Over here, boy.
No, he angry.
Uh-oh. What's the matter? Come on, boy. Come on.
Woof.
What's wrong with him?
You look scared of something, sir.
Oh, the alligator.
Eek! That's a fucking alligator!
Alligator!
Guess he's not a fan, sir.
Why, I doubt to be much help to us like this.
Any other bright ideas, Malcerino?
Yes, actually. Miss Berry, would you mind lending us a hand?
Oh, I'd love to. Just tell me what you need. You want me to teach Ellie some tricks?
I don't doubt she could do it, but nothing quite like
Can you
that.
just yes later?
I'd simply like an account of what the yard looked like during the show.
I like where this is going. You're thinking of using Little Thief again, am I right?
If you'd be so kind.
Okay, I've plugged in all the data. Firing up the simulation. Boodly doop doop. There you go. This is what the yard was like during the show.
The time in which the body was purported to have been thrown down the well.
Oh wow, this is so amazing. It's like magic.
No magic here. Just sweet, sweet data. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, I just had the idea of Kay being a big spreadsheet nerd like me, and it's like, oh my gosh, she is just
Yes.
like me for real. My father got like recommended by his Facebook algorithm sweaters that have like Christmas sweaters that have stuff like, oh, this calls for a spreadsheet on them, and he sent them to the chat with me and my mother, and it's like that doesn't describe you, that describes me and my mother.
I would love a Christmas sweater that says like something like I know regular expressions.
Oh, I'll send them to the court record in a second.
Yes, please.
Okay. Anyway, but the idea of Kay being a spreadsheet nerd is, I love that. That's canon to me now. Kay who loves pens and spreadsheets just like me. Okay. Which is why
The area behind the stage is missing.
Yeah, Regina says she wasn't involved in getting the stage set up. So we don't have any data on what it was like back there.
No data, no simulation, huh? Brutal.
I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all because I let Simeon do everything by himself.
Oh, no. It's all my frilly associate's fault.
Objection, Fender?
Anyway, we've got this fresh simulation now, but we still have other data too. I can switch back whenever you want the recreation of them taking down the stage.
So we can examine the scene both during and after the show. And switch between the two at will. I can switch between the recreation by using the to talk with Kay. Now then, let's continue our investigation, shall we? Well, time to sci-fi this shit.
Did you have to walk into K for it?
It's very funny.
It just proves she's part of the simulation.
Aren't we all deep down?
Aww.
That's nothing. I don't know. But yeah.
Nothing?
It's as bad as it looks, sir. Poor little guy's scared out of his skin.
I'd hoped to have him track that scent again, but that clearly isn't in the cards now.
Whimper.
I mean, he's just sniffing the floor, so like he doesn't look that anxious to me.
Don't say a word, sir. I just know what you're looking for. It's written all over your face.
It is?
Yeah, you really should stop letting Cave draw on you when you sleep.
When he takes brief power naps because he thinks he's above sleep.
Missile might be temporarily out of action, but my fishing rod is good to go whenever you need it. Oh, and if you want to give the metal detector a shot, I have that too.
Actually, I feel like fishing rod might be useful with a well.
I never seen him so excited. I'll be sure to let you know if I need either of them, Detective.
That also means no.
Maybe Mr. Edgeworth will find something useful for me.
We're gonna give you a call, Detective.
A story of forbidden love between a tiger and an elephant. Wish I could have seen it. Wish I could have seen Simeon up there on that stage too.
Oh, he was wonderful. The way he flew off the stage.
Ah, yes, that scene. The yeetage. Not again.
This victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is yeeted from the stage. Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the victim no longer appears in the performance.
And you're saying the crime took place during that time? Roughly, how long would you say Mr. Saint was out off stage for, Miss Berry?
Let's see. I guess it was around 15 minutes.
Just as Judge Gavell said.
He gets yeeted real good.
Isn't it pretty hairy health and safety wise? Having an elephant fling a guy off a stage? Sorry, eat a guy?
Buddy.
I don't know.
I'm not sure it changes much if she flings him gently or roughly.
He's still getting flinged.
Too gentle, in fact. When we first rehearsed it, she barely nudged him. By the end, he was flying off that stage. Because of Isaiah, though. Simeon had figured out some sort of trick, apparently. Isn't that amazing?
A trick? Do you have any idea what kind of trick?
Who, me? Oh, no, it was Simeon's big thing.
Oh, that's what the Wade and the police are for.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's smart.
Also, I posted the sweaters and court record along with Dog, letting Ebac specifically know that there is Dog.
Oh my god, I love this sweater.
The basket was empty in the other recreation.
Except
Yeah.
there's. Sorry.
Yeah, but it was definitely empty in the photo I took too. Go ahead.
No, I'm just nerding out about the sweaters because it should be said he's making a view, he's sorting it twice.
Oops, sorry, I made a mistake when I was filling you in earlier. I also forgot it was me for a second. Oops.
Oh?
That basket's for holding Isaiah's food, but on the morning of the show, all apples that were in it had vanished. Poof. Totally forgot to mention it. Sorry.
Disappearing apples? I should take note of this.
I also don't think you should feed an elephant only apples, but sure.
I assume it's like treat kind of thing. It's like how with horses, it's like they mainly eat hay, but they also sometimes have a treat of apples or sugar cubes.
Yeah, elephants should not eat too much sugar, but as treats, yeah, apples, bananas, any kind of fruit are really good.
We've got quite a lot of logic. It's time for us to connect the dots. Next week.
Wow.
We'll be doing that next week, as it will keep you in suspense. Let's see if you can piece things together, audience, in that time. Next week will be our final show until we wrap it up for our Christmas break, which will be taking 2 weeks off for the Christmas period. And we'll have Dimit back with us next week. So it'll be a glorious time to be on the show.
What was the case before Christmas? No around the house, not a creature was stirring. Not even the missile.
But the Edgeworth certainly was stirring because he can never sleep.
Yes.
He was stirring in his sleep.
Well, I want to thank.
I said a lot tonight for not having a strong voice.
You did remarkably well. Thank you very much.
Hi, weird.
It was lovely.
Oh,
Hello.
weird again. Hello.
Hello, is.
Where the fuck is it?
Yay!
You did the thing again.
And we will see you all next week. And stay around for the raid. We're going to raid into someone else. And good night, everyone.
You didn't do your cast roll.
Who's been the cast tonight?
The cast. Yes, how can I forget the cast? We've had a Burr.
Beep, boop, boop.
We've had Drifting.
Don't make me do multiplications.
We've had Kay.
I love this game. I'm so glad that I got to be here today. I love you guys. No joke, just sincerity.
We've had Laura Petal.
When next we meet, I will be a year older.
Yeah, your birthday on Monday.
Monday. Yay!
Yay! And we've had Mr. Lemming Russ. Oh dear me. We've had Mr. Obelus.
Beepity boop boop.
And as the role of Little Thieves, Beepity Boop Boops, Mr. Weird FTW. Indeed. And with that, we wish you a good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yay!
Good night,
It's
everyone.
broken.